comes from phenomenal genetics. So she's probably one of the finest dogs I've bought in the last 15 years. Her mom is a field trial winner. Her dad is an international field trial champion. If you go back with this dog on the Taylor here on the far, she comes from an international field trial champion as well. So I'm a big believer in genetics are a really important part of dogs. Who here owns a dog? Just about all of you. So sporting breeds, or what kind of breeds do you have? Who's got a hunting dog, traditional hunting dog? Who doesn't have a traditional hunting dog but has a dog? There was a lot of hands that went up. So I don't believe hunting dogs are necessarily breed specific. I think certain breeds have tendencies to lend themselves really well to the stuff we're going to do. I'm going to show you to start out with. Now I brought a bunch of stuff, and I don't keep it all in my bag because it gets a little bit cluttered, but I'm going to show you a few things. So who just watched the puppy? Like when I threw that. Now that dog is young. She's just started retrieving. She's 6 months old. She was teething not too long ago. Now now watch this puppy. Now it's a little bit dangerous for me to do this because I'm really trusting her patience and her steadiness. This is a big temptation. See how she really perks up when I do that? Every time I pitch a bumper, I pitch a dummy, I simulate this flush. So this weekend we were flushing birds, and when a bird would go up, those dogs, I don't want them just free running. So I want them to get focused, I want them to watch. If we're shooting at it, I want them to sit and watch it down, mark it down. So I teach these little dogs real early on that when they see something go up, they should stop and collect themselves. What tends to happen is they get really excited and they break. And so as gun dogs, you see the two older dogs? They barely move. So they're used to it. Spry, come here. I'm going to set the mic down for 1 second. So with Spry, now she comes to position here really well. She's in a spot where I can line her up to make this retrieve. That temptation of that bird wasn't stronger than my command to her to say, come here, I'm going to line you up and send you. So now this is going to be very tempting on this puppy. So I got to be smart. I'm a believer in when you train a dog for something, you got to set them up for success. They'll do anything we want them to do as long as they understand what we want them to do. What the problem that comes in is people make the mistake is they think their dog knows what they want them to do, but they don't do it in a way that the dog understands. So I didn't start out with this dog doing this because there's no way she would sit tight. But we've been working on it with her. Now the temptation is going to be, I'm going to send this dog and she's going to run right past her. And if she runs right past her, it's going to be it's going to be really hard for her to resist wanting to go herself. So I'm going to set myself up for success. The first time I do it, heel. I'm going to heel this dog past her. Now the other thing to pay attention to is watch the dog's eyes. I'm a big believer in the idea of when you own your dog's eyes, you've got them. Watch her eyes. She's always looking to me. The reason she's looking to me is because she really trusts me. I've built a lot of trust. I've worked really hard building trust. I'm going to show you how I do it with the puppy in a minute. But I want these dogs looking to me saying, what do you want me to do? There's a lot of distractions in here right now. There's a cricket game going on the other side of this thing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of smells. There's a lot of noise. Sorry. Now I send her on her name. Look at this one. Dead. Now, what I really like about that is sit. Sit. What I really like about that was, you see how she went out and there was a second one next to it, right? What I don't want is I don't want a dog going out there and switching. I don't want him to pick one up. She knows that second one is there. I don't want her to pick it up and decide, no, I'm going to shop it. I'm going to go get this one. I'm going to shop it and go get this one. That's something that we work on really hard. I would never put those two bumpers out for that puppy that close because she's going to go out to pick one up, and then she's going to look at the other one and go, that one's better, go get that one. What does she got to do to get that one? She got to spit this one out. So she starts shopping, and I don't like dogs that shop. So when I send a dog, I want them to pick and come back, pick and come back. The way to fix that, instead of doing them so close, is just spread them out. So I'm going to show you, we're going to run a little double, and I'm going to show you a dramatic difference. It's two dummies, so this is a double. Spray. The hardest one on it, the hardest one here for this, the hardest thing for the dogs here right now is that one. You can just see how bad she wants to go. Good. I mean, she's getting so worked up, she thinks it's hot in here all of a sudden. See how she's starting to pant? She goes, man, this is really intense. Now, Taylor. Now, Grandma over here, come on. She's a much slower working dog. This dog, come here. Anyone can handle this dog. Come here. Stop, that. Sit. Spry, sit. 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 Now, sit. Sit. Taylor. Now that one, a little more tempting. I ran that one past the puppy. Good dog. Good dog. See the tempo on that dog? That's what happens when you get a little older. Things slow down. But look at the puppy. Dead. Sit. Now, I am really, the most proud I am, now she'll go get all kinds of love from everybody because that's just the kind of dog she is. She really likes, that dog right there really likes just being with people. I mean, she's a great gun dog. She's a great little working dog. She loves being with people. So I talked about all the things we hunt with them. We do bird stuff with them. We also do tracking. So anybody in here, who's the deer hunters? So it's inevitable. Sometimes when we hit a deer, sometimes it's not the best hit, sometimes it's a great hit, and it's just really hard to track them. So we use these dogs as tools to help us find wounded deer that otherwise wouldn't be found. So they're really a good conservation tool, no different than a bird in the marsh. They're really hard to find. These dogs rarely miss them. So we use her as a tracking dog. We use her as a gun dog. She's also a certified therapy dog. So we've taken her, my wife took her through a course. She got this little license thing. She can go into any hospital. She can go into any school. We work at a school in town here called Sybil Hop. We bring these dogs at least a couple times a year, and they'll just hang out with kids. So I think it's really important for people to realize no matter what the hunting you want to do with them, it doesn't limit it to them. Doesn't mean that's the only thing you can do. We do so much stuff with these dogs. Now, how are we able to do so much? I'm a big believer that the reason is because we build a solid foundation first. I just don't think you can do any of this stuff with them without a really good foundation. This little puppy is in the middle of the foundation building. She's early on. At 6 months old, we've done some retrieving with her. I'm going to make a little retrieve with her. I'm going to show you how we introduce that double with her. But I'm going to show you, before we do that, I want you to remember what those two dogs looked like when they made that retrieve. They came to my side, they lined, they looked to me. I'll ask them to watch. I give them a little cue. I go, watch, watch. And when I say watch her ears. Watch, watch. That one was half asleep, and when she heard me whisper watch, she looked right up to me. This one here is just learning this little cue, watch. And I'm going to show you how we get her started on that. But I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to put these, you mind holding on to that one for me? I know she's a little rowdy, but get up. Spry, get up. Get up. Get up. So I'm going to show you a little bit with the puppy. I'll set this down again. Now, this is something that everybody can do at home, and I don't care if it's a hunting dog or not. So I'm a big believer that all dog training it's forming habits. And habits are formed through repetition and consistency. I'm not a treat trainer. I use a real heavy positive. I lend myself towards positive training, meaning I don't put a lot of pressure on dogs. I don't use a shock collar. I've never used a shock collar. I will not use a shock collar. I don't think I need one. I think these dogs want to do what I want them to do. It's just they don't understand what I want them to do until I speak their language. And so what I do believe is they have a trait that I call bidability. It's a willingness to please. They want to make me happy. So what I do is repetition and consistency forms habits. So if you do something every day consistently, trust me, it will become a habit. The problem is you got to be really careful because the bad habits form just as quickly as the good ones. So when I bring these little puppies home, I brought her home, she was a little bit older. She was about 14 weeks old when I brought her. Usually I get them around 7 or 8 weeks old. Now, we're doing if you want to watch her when I brought her home, we're doing a series on YouTube right now. It's called Bella Be Good. And it's on our YouTube channel. It's at Dogbone Hunter. We film almost every day with that puppy the simple little things that we're doing. You're gonna see a bunch of this stuff. She used to struggle with this drill. She had a hard time lining out to her bowl of food. I'm gonna show you, she's figured it out real quickly. But if you watch the videos, I think I just posted our 15th one and we've filmed over 40 so far. So we're a little bit behind with posting them. But if you watch, she struggled with this drill. She's got this drill down. Now, why do I do this drill? When I sent my dogs on the retrieve, watch how similar it is to this. So to start it out, because I'm also a believer in setting yourself up for success. You've probably heard me say that 4 or 5 times now in 20 minutes. So I believe in setting them up for success. If I took her off that bed right now, that bed is, we call it place training. Place training is a great tool. I can take her into this area with all these distractions and she does everything I need her to do. She just sits there, doesn't come off. Now she came off a couple times. The temptation got to be too much. But did you see me get real hard on her? No, I'm not going to. It was a mistake. I pick her up, I put her back. Now, I wasn't paying attention. If I had caught her coming off, like literally caught her feet coming off, I'd have corrected it. I just said, nah, no. And I just changed my tone and I had 3 or 4 people's heads go like this. Because I've been pretty loose most of this time and when I, that makes a big difference. Tone is really important. I don't have to get hard, this is a little puppy. I don't have to get very hard on her to get results. Just changing my tone lets her understand, boy, he's serious. So what I'm gonna do, in order to set myself up for success, is I'm just gonna slip this lead on her. She can't go anywhere. What does she do? This is a habit of hers. Dad's standing still, I better sit down. This is a habit that's been imprinted in her. Episodes 1 through 15, you'll see me do heel work with this dog. Bella, heel. Now she's really excited right now. But I'm gonna, before I do this drill, I want to connect with her. I think it's really important to build this connection. Right now, she's all over the place. Her mind is everywhere. And I can tell by her body language. Watch her head. Watch the focus that she has versus the focus that dog had. She's all over the place. I would not be able to get anything out of training her right now because she's just not into it. But I'm gonna dial her in. And I want you to just pay attention to her body language. I'm gonna shut up. Because me hollering like this gets her worked up. So I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna slow down. And I want you to watch how that changes her body language. How that changes the ability for us to connect. Bella, heel. Good. You all right? Good. See how she came with me that time? Watch her eyes. She's slowly dialing into me. Sit. Now, did you see it start to change? Wasn't like black and white, but she's slowly starting to settle in. Now, I'm gonna get this bowl of food. She knows what this is. She just changed her focus. Can you see, look in her face, look at her eyes, look at how willing she looks to me right now to go, I'll do whatever you want. She knows it's coming. She knows if she does the right thing, she's gonna get to eat. I'm really worried about when you take a leash off of a dog that they feel freedom and they want to run. I don't want that. So what I do a lot of times is take the leash on and off, and nothing changes. I take that off real slow and I brush her ears. Because have you ever seen it when you take the leash off the dog and the dog just throws their head back and wants to tear loose and go? You're setting them up with a trigger. You're telling them, I don't have control anymore, go do what you want. So when they're little like this, we practice this. I practice the idea of come off, go back on. I don't like her ducking her head down. We're working on it. So what I'll do is I'll just take my hand, put it through here, get her chin, good, and slide it over. So we get her in position, sit. We come off with the lead, nice and slow. I wait just a little bit. Look at her eyes. Bella. And there's her big reward. She just got to eat because she sat nicely, she sat calm, she sat quiet, she looked to me, she didn't break. Now, when we started out, if you watch the videos, I couldn't get her to do that. She was so nervous, she wouldn't line out. I want a dog to line out like that because now, she did not see those dummies, the puppy. She's really busy right now. She's eating. She's done eating, I'm gonna get her to me. Come here. See, we gotta work on this. Now, she just ate. Now this is pretty aggressive because these are kind of long retrieves in a really distracting area. But remember how I told you I don't put two dummies next to each other for a young dog because they'll switch? I got two dummies out, but they're on the opposite end. There's no way she's gonna pick that one up and switch to come get this one because I'm in the middle. I'll intercept her. I won't let her do it. So I'm gonna start at real wide angles and then I'll slowly bring the angles closer together as long as she understands the idea of don't switch. So if I get a little bit closer with angles, the dog goes and picks this one up and she looks at that one and she goes, oh my God, there's another one. I'm gonna be right here to say, here, and she's gonna come to me. I correct it before it ever happens. So now, you saw the value in, you saw why I line the dog up for the food. I do that every day. I do it twice a day. Every day, twice a day, forms habits quickly. So I start doing it when they're little pups. And I get her to start to understand when he lines me out for something, I should look down there. There's something good. It's a bowl of food right now, but watch what it turns into. Heel. Now, these I'd call these blind retrieves. She did not see that dummy go out. She did not see that dummy go out because she had her nose in the bowl of food. Now, this time, this is a leash combination that I designed it. It's to help me with this process. I can hold on to this because if she breaks, I got a hold of it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to send her, I'm going to say her name, and I'm going to let it go. And when I let it go, she can run without tripping on it. So it's just an extra little level of control. Now, there's a bird down there, there's a bird down here. I'm gonna start her out to that one, and I'm gonna give her a cue of watch. The same command that I give that puppy before it goes and eats. And I'm gonna wait till the dog goes and looks. And as soon as the dog looks and settles, I'm gonna send her on her name. That's a long ways for her to run. I'm hoping that the confidence is there to do it, and there's a lot of distractions. So I'm not a big believer in testing your dogs. I don't think you should test them. I think you should train them. But we're good. This is more of a test probably because of the amount of distraction. So I am going to cheat. So I'm not going to set her up to fail. I'm going to take a few steps closer and make it easier. Sit. Watch. Settle. Now that's visual. She sees it. Good girl. Good girl. Now I get right down. Good. Right here. Right here. Right here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good girl. I get right down and I invite her back. And I am not in a hurry to take it away. Good girl. I'm not in a rush. When I do take it from her, I tell her how good she is and I give her right back. Good. You ever see those dogs that want to play keep away? Sit. Sit. They get something in their mouth, they don't want to bring it back all the way. They bring it till you take a step to them and then they play keep away. It's the worst thing you could ever have for a retriever. When I get these little dogs, the way I avoid it is I'm encouraging for them to bring it and share it with me and not thinking I'm going to take it away. So when they bring it to me, I tell them how good they are, and then heck, I'll give it right back. Good. So she has no reason to think I shouldn't bring it to them. I want them to get in the habit of holding on to it. Now, I'm going to take this and put it in my pocket. Ben, I'm going to have you slide over. Now, here's the double. I mean, this is the first time she's run a double this big. And trust me, this distracting. Like, we don't train in the gym with a bunch of kids. So this is really distracting. She's going to go right past him. Watch. Watch. Yellow. Good girl. Very good. Good girl. Come on. Come on. Right here, right here, right here. Come on. Come on. Oh boy. Come on. Notice how she's not in a hurry to get away from me. She's going to come to me. Oh, you're a good girl. Tell her she's good. I'm a believer in the idea of when they do it right, let them know. Sit. Now, maybe the most impressive part of this whole thing is her willingness to just sit there and be quiet right now. She just did her job. I might not be showing it right now. I'm very happy. Like, I'm really excited she just did that. I don't want to get her too excited. If I get real excited, she's going to get real excited. If I stay kind of cool and calm, she'll stay cool and calm. But that was dynamite, what she just did, running those 2 retrieves in this situation. That was a lot on her. What I'm most impressed with is her ability to just sit there right now and do nothing. Because there's a lot of things that are fun to do with the dogs. Doing nothing and sitting still isn't nearly as fun. It's hard to get dogs to do that. The reason is because we don't often practice it. Who here goes camping? Who likes a dog that's really annoying? Can't sit down, can't shut up, wants to play fetch all the time, dropping sticks on your feet all the time. I went to college with buddies that had dogs like that. I've had dogs like that. They're really hard to take anywhere. They're a pain. So what happens is a lot of those dogs get left home. The question was, when you first get a pup till when I take them on their first hunt, till when I take them on their first hunt, how long is that? There is no set answer because every dog's different. So I know it's disappointing because everyone wants to hear me everyone asks me these questions. How long should I do this? How long should I do that? How many weeks do I need to do this before I can do this? Because everything in training is sequenced. Everything is connected. It's like a long chain. So each link is part of the training. And the problem is if you have a chain, but you're missing links throughout, what good does the chain do you? Not much, because it doesn't work. And so if you're missing parts of training, you might be doing stuff towards the end real well, but you don't have stuff before it. that you need to put it all together. So your question of how long does it take, it does vary. It depends on the dogs. Bella is really sharp. Like at 6 months old, man, she's smart. She's probably one of the most talented dogs I've ever had. Spry here is 2.5 years old. We filmed Spry's training live. We did it on Facebook. Literally, we did it like Facebook Lives with her 148 times in the first year. So and then we posted them on our YouTube channel. So that's another, you can watch her when she was 7 weeks old, all the way up till she was a little over a year. And so she didn't make a retrieve until she was almost 8 months old. I couldn't do what I did with Bella, with her. And it took, it was just something that was quirky about her. She struggled. So they're all a little bit different, but I'm a believer in there are certain things you have to get them into the field. And I also think when you go from training, which is what we're doing with her, to actually hunting, that first year, the whole year, I call it transitional training. I focus more on the dog's training than I do the hunt. So I pay more attention to making sure that everything we work so hard for, it's really easy to get a dog steady in training. And then you go hunting and it gets really exciting and you forget about it and you let them break. And what you worked on for a year can be gone in a weekend if you start letting them break and getting the retrieve, because they get that reward and they just blank out what you've put into them. So it takes a while. The nice part about training your own dog is you're not up against a calendar. You're not up against a clock. I write a lot of articles. I write articles for Badger Sportsman is a magazine. Gundog magazine is a magazine I write for. I write a lot of articles about patience. And about one of the biggest problems people have is they're not patient. And they're too much in a rush to get to the end. I think training dogs should be compared to marathons, not sprints. So like, you don't train for a marathon by doing things fast and short. You add distance, you lengthen things out. So to me, marathon running is so different than sprinting. Dog training is a marathon. So it's a great question. I wish I had it's 10 months, but it's not. Some dogs I might put in the field when they're a year and a half old. Some dogs, this is her first season. She's 2.5. Ellie, I got another dog at home, a really nice one. She's 4. It's her second season. I'm probably slower with my own personal dogs than I am my client's dog. That dog's a client's dog. Bella belongs to an outfitter down in Illinois. They do duck hunting and they do deer hunting. And so she's gonna be a tracking dog for them. She's also gonna be a duck dog, Gundog. So she's gonna do a little bit of both. She'll probably be with me she'll be through this whole fall, through the spring, through the summer. My thought with her is, next year at this time, she may be going to them or she'll at least be doing it with me. I'll have her in the field, I think. But she'll be 18 months old. So it just kind of depends. It's a great question. Anybody else got any questions? What kind of yeah. What's that? How do I stop him from jumping? Great question. So this is a little puppy. She has a tendency to jump. Puppies do. Nip, bite, jump. It's a problem that you see with a lot of dogs. You've not seen her jump on me yet, have you? You haven't seen her reach out to nip at me. You haven't seen her really caught. Usually when I pick the leash up, what does she do? She usually goes, ugh, this guy again, and sits down nicely. Like, does what I want her to do. Now, when I put her, did you take her to start out with? You didn't. The first person that was sitting here that took her to start out with, about 3 minutes later, she was up the bleachers. I mean, she decided to go, you know what? I don't know who this girl is, and she probably isn't gonna know how to handle me. I think I'll do what I want. It was disrespectful on her part. I believe dogs that jump up are showing you disrespect. Have you ever heard, you'll see it I don't like talking politics, but you'll see it in politics a lot, where a guy will come up to another guy. Politicians will shake another politician's hand, and then they'll give him one of these. That's not because they're buddies. That's body language. So then what happens is usually he would stand up, And I'm going like this to him, and what is he going to do to me? He's going to put his up on me. And then I'm going to give him one of these. And I'm going to try to be the one to do that last. And then I'm going to walk away. Because I just showed him I'm the boss. It's completely body language. Watch guys do that. Guys got big egos. Guys don't want to be second to anybody. And girls probably do at times too, but I don't see it so much like this. But you ever hear the saying, I got a leg up on him? That means you got an advantage, right? So with these dogs, that's physical. So with these dogs, when they put their paws up on you, what are they doing? They're showing you they're the boss. They're dominating you. It's a body language thing where they say, I'm not going to let you tell me. Now, what do we do to them oftentimes? Good, good. I'm the boss. She's not going to, now if she jumps up, she's testing me. She's trying to figure out what she can get away with. When she jumped up into the stands, there's no way she would have jumped up to the stands if I were holding on to the end of that leash. Because she'd have said, it's not accepted. Now, when they do jump up on us, if they were to, I'm going to have, why don't you come here? So I'm going to show you how I want you to heel her. So I start out in heel position. Heel position is always on the left for me. I don't care what side you do it on, just do it consistently. Don't be that person that I stop and have to help on the side of the road when they're holding onto their dog's leash and the dog is dragging them down the road. The dog is taking them for a walk. I can't stand it. My skin crawls. I literally have stopped and helped old women when their dogs were dragging them down the road because I just can't stand it. And so they say, well, I can't help it. Dog's much bigger and stronger. No, you can help it. You just got to get the dog to understand what you want. So my dogs always heel on the left-hand side. I say the dog's name, and if I have to get their attention, I might move my leash just a little bit. But I say, Bella. And as soon as her ears go like that, she heard me. She's ready for me to give her a command. Her command is heel. Bella, heel. I walk with my left leg first because it's the closest one to the dog. I'm helping him. Helping her understand. He's moving, I got to move with him. Bella, heel. Left leg first. And notice my lead is loose. I'm going to go down and I'm going to turn around. Do you see how she turned with me? You see how loose that lead is? If she got out in front of me, I would turn and I'd give her a little correction. And she'd feel it. And then the next time she'd feel me start to turn and she'd come with because she'd go, I don't want you to correct me. I know where I'm supposed to be. Now she knows where she's supposed to be with me. What's your name? Kaylee? Caitlin. Come here, Caitlin. I'm going to have you take her. You spin around. She's going to be on your left-hand side. You need to have, so position her to your left-hand side. Bring her around. Now right away, we're just going to watch. I'm going to help you in a second, okay? But I want you to take her for a walk and walk her down to the other end of the gym. And let's see how they do. Now I want you to pay attention to a few things. Where the position is, how loose the lead is. Most people have a big tendency to tighten up. And she did right away. Look how tight her lead is right now. Okay, bring her back down. Not bad, right? I mean, that's better than a lot of people I see walking down the road. Now, nice work. Now, you're tense. Yeah, she is. Why wouldn't you be? Right? I would be too. So now what I want you to do, you're tense, she's tense. You don't have to go like this. Watch what'll happen when you let it go like this. So take a deep breath. That probably makes her more tense. But honestly, sometimes I do this when I'm training. I literally stop. And it might not have anything to do with the dog. It might have everything to do with everything else in my life. But I literally will stop and just take a deep breath and go, you know what? This is fun. I had the guy who bred this dog, he's in England, one of the finest Gundog trainers in the world, in my opinion. I really look up to the guy. I message him about the dog. I email him and I give him updates because it's a puppy out of his dog. And so I told him what the dog was doing and how well I thought she was doing and sent him a little video. And he messaged me back. And the guy is remarkably simple. This is not complicated. Don't complicate dog training. Just take a step back from it and go, man, it's relatively simple. He told me, he said, you know why you're having such fantastic luck, Jeremy? Because you're enjoying that little dog. And that's the most important thing. That was his message back to me. Like, I gave him 3 paragraphs of descriptive stuff about the dog. He said, you're having fun, and that's the most important thing. So if you go into it stressed out, tensed up, angry, I mean, there's a lot of days the best training that I can do is not train because I'm mad about something that has nothing to do with the dog. And so if I go and work with the dog, it's not going to work. So I sometimes just have to stop and take a deep breath. And when that dog is jumping on you, you get pissed. I do too. I get angry. I start to get kind of tense. I want to fight the little bugger. Well, that is going to get that dog to feel the same way. So sometimes you got to go, frustrating, yes, take a deep breath. Now, mechanically at that moment, here's what you can do. Now, it's a big picture answer. It's get the dog to respect you. They won't jump on you if they respect you. If they don't respect you, they're going to put their paws up. So it's a bigger picture thing of getting that type of control. But at the moment, when he jumps up on me, you know what I do? I walk right into him. How big's your dog? Border Collie, but high energy, right? So pretty small. Border Collie wants to jump up and hit me with her front paws. I grab a hold of her front paws and I flip her on her back. I don't say a word. I don't yell. I don't get mad. I don't feel mad about it. I might feel a little bit, oh, sorry about that. You got in my way. You're in my space. So I'm real matter of fact about it. I don't think you can let emotion take over when you're training a dog. I think, now, I say that, I do think you gotta show them a lot of love. I love my dogs. I'm not afraid to say it. At the end of the day, I want them to be my friend. I don't want them doing stuff because they're scared of me. I don't want them doing things because they think I'm gonna punish them if they don't. I want them to do it because they know I want them to do it and they understand. So, but when she gets up and jumps up on me, surprise the heck out of her. Grab her by the front paws and give her a quick flip and go, that's enough. And if she comes right back at you, which she might, walk back into her. Don't get mad, just boom. And watch the dog go, oh my God, what's your name? What is it? Suzanne? I can't hear. Sophia. Sophia. Sophia's serious, is what your dog's gonna say. Oh my God, Sophia means it. Not afraid of you, but respects you all of a sudden. Discipline is a word that is mistaken a lot. Who's a sports fan? Anybody like sports? Basketball? Steph Curry? Anybody know Steph Curry? Steph Curry is probably one of the most disciplined players in the NBA, on the court and off. He doesn't get into trouble. You're not going to read about him getting arrested. He's not going to beat his wife up. He's good. He's a good guy. He's got a lot of good his moral compass is strong. He's got a lot of discipline. There's a reason. He's not very big. He's not a great athlete. He's the best shooter that you'll ever see in your lifetime. He's got a ton of discipline and he works really hard, harder than probably most anyone. But the word discipline, he's very disciplined. He doesn't make mistakes. The word discipline and Steph Curry are a positive. A lot of times I hear people talk about discipline and they think negative. They think it's a bad thing. You got to discipline them. Discipline to me is really, really positive. My dogs are well disciplined, meaning they don't cause trouble. They're respectful. So you just got to get, what's your dog's name? Winnie. Winnie? You got to get Winnie to respect you.
She respects me, but not like my mom.
Okay. Winnie, what's your mom's name? Sadie needs to get respect from Winnie. So Sadie, sometimes the training is not the dog. I'm not going to train the dog to heel right now. Is it Caitlin? Yeah. I'm going to train Caitlin how to heel the dog. So the training needs to be for the handler as much as the dog. We do workshops where people bring their dogs to us. I don't take dogs in. You can't send your dog to me. I don't have time. We don't have space. But what we do is workshops where people bring their dogs. They come from across the country. And they'll spend 3 days with us, and I don't train their dog at all. I train them how to train their dog. And they take the most away from it that way. So, Caitlin, I'm gonna have you take her. Now, you've had a little time to relax.
Yeah.
I hope you're feeling a little more comfortable. This time I want you to heel her, and I'm gonna say the word loose lead.
Okay.
So you just let it down so that, go ahead and hold it. And I want you to just hang on to it, and I want to see if that dog, get her into, you swing around so she's in position. I want to see if that dog changes when the handler changes. And just let that lead down a little. Let it down loosely, there. See what it looks like? So why I grabbed this one is, when you put this on the dog, first off, this is a slip collar. It's a really important tool. If you put it on backwards, it doesn't work. It chokes the dog. People call them choke chains, choke collars. If you put it on, if the dog heels on your left-hand side, and I put this on backwards, which this is backwards, and the dog is walking, the dog got out of heel, so I corrected it, and then I let it go. What happened to it? Nothing. It stayed pressure. Now watch what happens. I'm just gonna reverse it. I'm gonna put it on this way. The dog's walking down the hall. The dog gets out in front of me. I corrected it. What happened? It released. So it turned the pressure on, but it turned it off as soon as I let it go. So it was on and off. So if you put it on backwards or you have the dog heel on the wrong side, it won't work. You correct them and it'll stay correcting. And they don't understand, why are you choking me? So you gotta be real conscious of that. That's a mechanical thing. So, but what I want is when that's on the dog, I want the lead to look like this. See how it makes a J? Comes down and around. Makes a hook. I want it to be a hook. I don't want it to be this. This is what it was when you walked her before. I want it to be like this. Watch how much better they'll look. Watch how much more comfortable you'll look. Because right now, the last time you walked her, you looked fine. Dog looked really good, but you were like this, and that's tension. That tension from you to the dog was solid. Try it like this, okay? So you're gonna start out with her name, you're gonna get her attention. When you get her attention, you're gonna start out with your left leg. When you start out with your left leg, she'll move with you. Look at the dog right now, before we go. Look at how relaxed she has become. Don't think for a second it doesn't have to do with the end of the lead. You're feeling better about it already. And you go to this. And now all of a sudden the dog goes, I'll hang out with her just like I do him. She knows what she's doing all of a sudden. And then the dog decides that she's gonna react the same way. Okay, name, Bella, heel her off. There you go, get her attention. No, you're all right. There. Now heel her off. And give her a little bump. Bump her. Bump her with that lead. Walk off. Walk off. Bump her. There. She's looking for you to lead her. Now you keep going. Turn and come back. There. Look at how that dog held up. That dog wanted to come out. Walk into her. Walk into her. Walk into her. Walk into her. You take control. Okay? She's looking at me because she thinks I'm the boss. Now you're going to be the boss. Keep walking. Keep going. If that dog decides it wants to slow down, you keep moving. There. It's going to likely keep going. It's going to I bet you it gets better over there because the attention is going to be less distracting over here. Now turn and come back. Boy, that little puppy's got happy feet. And she's kind of ramping up. So stop for a second. Stop. Have her sit. And now she's just going to take a deep breath. And look at the puppy. Look at the ears on the puppy right now. She's going, what do you want to do next? What do you want to do? Now, have her sit. Don't let her do that. So the dog's attention span is short. Sat for a little bit and thought, I'm good, I'll do something different. That second she moves, you say, ah, ah. So we as handlers have to stay sharp. There's no time for us to kind of fall asleep during this because as soon as they do, timing is key. If you don't correct at the right time, or you don't praise them at the right time, they don't know what they did wrong, they don't know what they did right. It has to happen like the second it happens. So heel her to me, get her attention, heel her to me. Your lead is perfect, nice and loose. You see her look at her when she says her name. Walk, there. You walk a straight line. If she wants to walk into you, you bump into her. This is no different than your dog jumping up. If your dog leans into you and you go like this, so let's do this. Caitlin, turn around. Walk this line. Walk the straight line. You on the line. You're on this one, this gray one. I want you to stay on the line. Watch what Bella's going to do. Bella's going to lean into her, and before, when the dog leaned into her, Caitlin went like this. Now you don't have an option. You walk the line. It's just like when your dog jumps on you, you bump into it. So if that dog leans in on you, you walk right into it. And watch how she'll adjust. Be ready, because she's going to be distracted right here. So be ready to give her a little correction. Okay? Get her in position. Bump into her. There. Correct? Keep going, keep going, keep going. There. Bump into her, bump into her, bump into her. Don't let her get out in front of you like that. There. Turn and come back. Turn and come back. This will be easier this time when she goes past the dog. Why? Because she's in between the dogs. Watch how much better this looks. See what a difference that makes? That's just setting them up for success. Turn around and go back. Now this one is going to be tough, so be ready. Correct. Correct that. There you go. Keep moving. See that little hiccup that we got right there? There you go. Now, Bella's kind of getting distracted pretty easily. She's kind of nipping at her hands a little bit. She's testing you. So have her sit there. And just regroup for a second. Really nice. You can bring her back. And then we're going to put her, so here's the other thing we're going to do is we're not going to push it too far with this little dog. Very good job. Excellent. Get up. So that right there, mentally for that dog, is exhausted. We didn't hardly run her. She didn't go very far. She didn't run anywhere very fast. She didn't burn a ton of calories, but she's mentally worn out right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's laying down shortly. Like she's going, Jesus, that was tough. That was a lot. She had to meet someone new and listen to her. She had to figure out if she should listen or not. You did a really nice job of taking control there. You could, with a little bit more mechanics, you'd have even better results. But, so we're gonna let her sit for a second. Now, the other thing is these dogs that haven't done anything for a while have done a really nice job of doing nothing. And to me, that's valuable. Because there's nothing that bothers me more than a dog that wants to constantly be doing something and changing scenery. And it's annoying. It's really hard to have a dog like that. So this is a skill that's overlooked. Do nothing and do it well. Patience, 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 patience. We do this stuff all the time. There she settles. So I normally, when she was little, I'd tell her, good dog. Now, Taylor here is the master of that move. The one that's asleep right now. She's figured it out. She's old. Spry. Now, what I'm going to do with Spry, let's do, let's see, what's our time? What do we have time-wise? We've got 10 more minutes. Okay. Now, with Spry, I'm going to show you again. We got a dummy down there. Sit. Now, these have become, I would call these blind retrieves now. She doesn't know it's there. She didn't see it. She saw it a long time ago. She forgot about it. There's also one over here in the corner, and there's one back there. So these are really nice delayed memories. Yeah. This is that heel position. She's got to be to my left. She's got to be in, I call it the pocket. She's got to be in my pocket. So when I move, I don't want to have to worry about, if I'm carrying a gun, I don't want to have to worry about where's my dog. My dog's always going to be on my left-hand side. Heel. Have you ever seen those military dogs, those police dogs? I mean, they're right there next to their handlers, because their handlers are going into situations that are probably pretty messy, and they're carrying rifles, and they can't be worried about where their dog is. They got to know where it is, and their dog has to be ready for them to do whatever they're asked. It's the same thing with this. You know how you get that? Foundation, heel, sit, stay, come when I call you. That's it. That's what's so nice about this. To train a nice dog as a gun dog, 4 commands. To train a nice dog as a family dog, 4 commands. You don't need to have a million things. Now, the whistle stuff is kind of nice, it's an extension, but at a distance, so I'm going to send her and I'm going to stop her on a whistle. Sorry. Ah! Look at her, look at me and go, man, am I sorry. Go back. Now, that showed a lot of control. That was tempting to her. Did you see how, whoa, little girl. Someone wanted to play. Sit, sit. Did you see how, as soon as we got downhill, as soon as she saw it, and I tried stopping her, she kind of put the brakes on. She kind of put the brakes on a little bit, but she kind of slipped a little bit on this floor, and she said, ah, the hell with it, I'm going to get it. And I said, ah. And she went, whoops. It was a bad decision. And so she stopped. Now, I don't want to have to do that. I like to stop her to the whistle. But I bet you, heel. When I put it back out there, no. I was just going to say, man, I'm kind of an idiot doing this again, right? Right here, right here, right here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Good. We're not going to chase her. You know, that's not perfect. When she goes flying by me, she won't do that in the end. But right now, we're not going to chase her. Because we start chasing her, she's going to say, this is a lot of fun. I get something in my mouth, he'll come and chase me. Really nice little game of keep away. So, now, instead of, you know, I don't know why I did that, because I thought about it in my head, and I went, huh, she just broke off that bed. Why wouldn't she do it again? And yet I throw a dummy past her. So I make as many mistakes as anybody. It's what do you do when you make a mistake? Do you learn from it? Come here, come here, come here, come on, Spry. Spry prefers to be petted. Sit. Will you hold on to her? Now, she can't fail. She can't break. No, she can't get into that stuff either. Come on, sit down. She's just got to sit nice and tight to you. I'm going to stop her short again. I'd be willing to bet I can get her to stop to the whistle and I don't have to correct it. I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to do it sooner. I'm not going to let her get so close. And watch the time. Watch what that timing difference makes. Right. Go back. So I realized where my issue was the time prior, and we fixed it that time. Now, You see how her delivery is? He doesn't go flying by me. She doesn't take off 100 miles an hour. This one will do it eventually. But right now, I'm just happy to have that little puppy bring me stuff. Get up, get up. Now, I want to have her watch one more, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send her on that one. Because this is a really nice, like Ben's recording this, and I'm going to actually use it as this series that we're doing is called Bella Be Good. So all of her training will be recorded and put on YouTube. This is training for her. Like, she's not going to get another session today. This is it. This was a lot. We did more in this session with her than we would normally do. Normally our sessions are 10, 15, 20 minutes tops, because that's all the attention span they have. But we had her longer. So I'm going to send her on that one. Now, I've got one more here. So this time I'm going to call the dog to me. Taylor. 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 Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. See how slow motion she is? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Good dog. Good dog. Good dog. So that's another one that was a blind to her. She didn't know it was out there. But she's so willing to do what I ask her. Come on. Come on. Come on. Now, what are you doing to my poor little puppy? No, it's all right. So does anybody notice a difference when she goes out of my hands? What's your name?
Hannah.
Hannah. Bella really likes Hannah, because Bella can do what Bella wants to do with Hannah. And you're fine. But watch the difference now, and I see the difference just as soon as I start to pay attention to her again. What did she do? Sat there and looked at me going, oh no. He saw me. These dogs, this is a perfect example of these dogs will completely take advantage of anything you give them. That's good and bad. So we've got to be really careful. I'm just a big believer in the idea that they're always learning. There's no time off for them. I work on things like 10, 15 minutes at a time max, because that's their attention span. It's short, it's focused. I try to work on something specific, but I have to realize that the rest of the day is habit forming just the same. If I let them screw off the rest of the day, the 10 minutes I work with them doesn't mean a damn thing. Because all they're going to do is go back to what have they done the most of. That's repetition. That's consistency. That's habit forming. So the second I pick up the leash and I'm on the other end of it, I think we see her change a little bit. And that's fine. But what I need to do is I need to have her start to have the habit be so strong, it really doesn't matter who's on the other end of the leash. That'll take time. And it'll take training Hannah. Because I guarantee you Hannah can handle her. But Hannah has to be able to go, you know what? I will probably be the leader here. I'll be the boss. So I really think you gotta take on a true understanding of leadership with dogs. Because they want a leader. They want to follow you. If they don't find a leader, they become the leader. Your dog has become the leader with your mom. But you're the leader when you're with her. So if you don't show them a leader, they'll become one. That's evolution. That's how a pack develops. We're just a part of their pack. So I'm going to send her on this last retrieve, and then we'll wrap it up. Because we're about done, right? Time-wise? Oh, I got 5 minutes. Let's send her on this last retrieve. Now this is a nice long one. And this one's distracting. Just gonna have to run past some dogs. Watch. Bella. She's trying. Here, 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 here. She's trying. She did exactly what I wanted her to do. She doesn't know the dummy's there. She went where she thought it was, but she gave up. Now I'm going to send her again. I'm going to heel her towards it just a little bit. Sit. Sit. Bella. But she's really drawn, she's last suction to the left. Here, 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 here. Here, here. You see how she's hunting? I mean, she's really trying to find that thing. Here. So I'm gonna help her out again. We got a whole herd coming through. Watch. 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 Bella. She's convinced it's over there. Here, 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 here. Watch. Bella. Good, good, good. She got somebody's gum. Sit. Bella. Good girl. Very good. Very good. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Good girl. Here, here, here. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Now, what did that take? It took me helping her. I mean, it's kind of a challenge. Challenging to run past these dogs, challenging to run past that stuff that's on the bench, challenging to run past the girls that have been petting her. A lot of challenges. She thought it was over there for some reason. Every time she gave up, now that's one thing I want to work on. I don't want to give it up so quick. But I brought her a little closer. I brought her a little closer till she couldn't help but see it. But did you notice what I did right away? I backpedaled. I went back to the spot where I first sent her. So the retrieve was the full distance. It's just I helped her get to it. That's a really good, like, total live example of things didn't go the way I had planned. So what do? You don't stand back there and go, damn it, she didn't do it, and I get mad at her. Because she didn't do it on purpose, she just didn't connect. So instead I helped her, and then it didn't work, so I helped her again. Then it didn't work, so I helped her again. Then it worked, and it's gonna click. Now, if we hadn't been working her so much today, my next thing would be, I'd reset that. I'd set it up again. I'd put it out there, I'd go back there and I'd send her, because she just made that retrieve, and I bet you she makes that retrieve the second time. But it's just too much right now, and I don't want to risk it going downhill. Always end on a positive note. I talk about enjoying your training. Don't end it on a bad note. Find success and say we're done. Even if it's a mini success. You could have the worst session ever. Just end it on something positive. Put the dog away and forget about it. I think sometimes we as trainers, we hold grudges against our dog because of what they did yesterday. Didn't do this very well yesterday, and you come into it knowing they didn't do it very well yesterday, they're not going to do it again today. You can't hold grudges. So you just got to let it go. And maybe you take the next day off. Maybe you don't work with them the next day. That's fine too. So, anybody got any questions? That was a lot. I mean, that was a lot of stuff to do for this little dog. It wasn't so challenging for those two, but this little dog, man, that was the toughest Bella Be Good we've ever done. And so, if you are interested in following her, it's our Instagram's Dogbone Hunter. And so we post promos of it every day, almost every day. Our Facebook page, we post promos and full videos, and then our YouTube, we post the whole video. So if you have interest, if you ever have any questions, Instagram and Facebook are easy ways. We do a podcast. I don't know if you listen. Does anybody here listen to podcasts?
Yeah, I love them.
I love them too, man. What a treasure we have with podcasts, isn't it? Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. You think it's a treasure too.
We
Podcasts, I think it's interesting. The reason I ask it is because I think it's interesting to hear where and what you guys are consuming. Like Instagram, you guys use Instagram, right? High school kids use Instagram. Like, you don't use Facebook, right? High school kids don't use, you do? Who does? Not very many, I don't think. Who uses Instagram? What do you use? Snapchat. We've got a Snapchat account too. I don't really know how to use it much. So I don't post that much stuff or use it that often, but if you are interested in reaching out with questions, I'd be happy. We don't live that far away. We're from Pulaski area, so if I can help you in any way, I certainly will. I thank you guys for your time and your focus. I'm pretty impressed, quite honestly, with the amount of focus many of you have had. So, any questions? Yeah, thank you for having me. Sick.
Drive home, and I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned